Huge thanks to Universe Rewritten for joining over on the Patreon as a member of the main event tier. Thank you for your support here on Spike Piledriver. If you would also like to support the channel, you've got three options of joining the Patreon. You can either join at the ringside, the main event, and the tribal chief levels. The latter two will get you access to save game files and graphics. And even if you're a member of the tribal chief, you will potentially be asked some decisions to make for booking various shows here in the series. But please enjoy today's video, and thanks once again to Universe Rewritten. Welcome back to Local to Global 1992, the save where we take our created promotion, Spike Piledriver Wrestling, all the way from the smallest possible promotion to the biggest in the world. Welcome back. It's November 1995. My name is Anders. This is Spike Piledriver. It's Total Extreme Wrestling 9. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for all episodes of this series to come straight to you. And, well, you'll see them anyway if you're not subscribed, but still, get subscribed. And also the WCW 2000 series as well, which is a cracker. So make sure you don't miss any of that. Make sure you like the video, and let's go straight into things. November 1995, time for King of Combat, which is our 10-man battle royal, giving the winner a title shot at the heavyweight title. Before we get into things, you may notice, you may not, but you may notice that it is Friday the 3rd of November and not Sunday the 5th of November. And that is because, well, on Sunday, Eddie Guerrero will not be available. So we are moving the show to Friday. Equally, for Clash of the Titans, we're moving that to the 1st of December instead of the 3rd because Eddie is not available again. He's got to deal with FILL, so it's just stopping us from using him on Sundays for the time being. But we shall see. We've got some news on Eddie as well, which we'll cover in a second. But for those unfamiliar, we have a monthly event, which is usually the first Sunday of the month, basically because any increases in size flow through on more sponsorship money that month. So there you go. And we also have a TV show which is filmed once a month, 4 TVs at once on a Friday, and that airs on syndication throughout. Our events also air on syndication as well, which helps with our growth across USA. Speaking of, this is our current size. In the last episode, we got to 35 in the southeast, which meant we moved to small size in the game's system. So next up is medium, but that's a long way away because we need to get our popularity in the southeast up to 59, and then in either of the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic or Mid-South up to 35. So a little bit of a while to go yet. That's sort of a 24 gain at the moment. That's probably going to be sort of anywhere from 18 to 24 months from here. But as we get bigger and bigger and bigger, we might be able to get better broadcasting deals, which will hopefully increase the pace that we add size and popularity in game. But we'll get there when we get there. Obviously, right now, we sort of move up 1, maybe 2 points a month, usually 1. But we shall see. We'll track that through this episode. We're going to do November and December, get to the end of the year in this episode. So that means it will be King of Combat, and then the Unleashed TV block, and then Clash of the Titans, and then the final Unleashed of the year, which should take us through all the way to here, where next time around we'll do Unleashed before our monthly event, because that's just how 4 weeks work, which will be Glory Road, which will be beginning of 1996. We need to have a look at our champions. So the heavyweight champion is Raven. He's a 2-time champion. He defeated Rob Van Dam back in October at our Collision Course season finale event. RVD was the former 2-time champion for 3 months. Before that, it was Jeff Jarrett and then RVD again, who started out the year defeating Jarrett in Glory Road, which was the beginning of the calendar year. So Raven's a 2-time champion. He was Scotty the Body, obviously, back in 1993. He held it for 154 days. Currently going for 33. We've got the King of Combat Battle Royal, which gets you a nice trophy and a title shot. That'll be held very soon. Previous winners include Rob Van Dam and Dean Malenko, and also Rocky King for some bizarre reason. But that's just the sign of the times. That'll be fought for today. Our tag team titles are currently held by the Pitbulls, Pitbull 1 and 2. They defeated Shanghai Pierce and Tex Slazenger, who are the Texas Outlaws. They're actually the Godwins. Harlem Heat or Ebony Experience, Booker T and Stevie Ray are 4-time champions in the past. We've had lots of tag teams winning the titles at various points, including a bit of a curse, but we won't go into the tag team curse at all today. And then we've also got a TV title, which is currently being held by Rey Mysterio Jr., who won it at Collision Course in an upset over Eddie Guerrero. Guerrero had dethroned Dean Malenko, both sort of defending it every single week on TV. Ray's been doing that at the last TV taping as well. First inaugural champion was Angus King, who is Kane for those who are not familiar. But Rey Mysterio is our current television champion. And after all of that introduction, we're about ready to go into King of Combat. Now, at the end of the last episode, we showed the finance situation where we made $8,000 in profit for October. That's with us starting to increase our merchandise as well. So our merchandise is going up to level 4, I believe, is the one we're moving up to. We're a rapid increase, basically 10% every week at $250 a week. So we'll be getting there as we go through. And our production side of things, I might as well just show you that at the moment, is, as you can see on screen, our live event experience is lower because, well, broadcasting deals don't need a live experience. So it's cheaper that way. I did mention as well there's something about Eddie Guerrero. So of the batch of wrestlers who are contracts expiring, so these are the Guerrero, Jericho, and Mysterio who we signed for a 6-month spell, I believe. Jericho's expires in 33 days. He's currently irritated because he was left off Collision Course and he doesn't like the head of talent relations, but we can negotiate with him, I believe. Don't want to, but we can. That's fine. Rey Mysterio, again, he's happy. His contract's ending soon, but he's happy. We can extend his deal soon. That'll be fine. We'll do that at some point in the next month. But Eddie Guerrero is currently angry. Now, I mentioned in the last episode that he literally signed for us and then asked for a pay rise the day after because he got a touring deal and then decided he wasn't bothered about it. And day after that, after I basically said no because he wanted to go up from 70 to 700. So he was annoyed at that, but I have since given him a pay rise. So I'm not sure what he's moaning about. He then also was furious at losing to Rey Mysterio at Collision Course. And that currently leaves him angry, which means he is not wanting to negotiate his contract. So he could be leaving. He's on $370 per show. But he could be leaving at the beginning of December, which is going to be very annoying. But we will deal with it if we have to deal with it. And also, if he leaves angry, he may not ever want to sign with us again. Because if we look at, say, for example, if we clear this and go to, what's his name? Bildemont, I think. Bildemont. Yeah, he's not wanting to ever negotiate with us because he was awful. He had an awful time, and that was not so long ago. I mean, not so long ago being 1993. It's 2.5, nearly 3 years since he was last with us, and he didn't have great morale when he left. So we'll see. We'll see if that means that Eddie will never join us again. If he does, that will be a shame. But never mind. We'll go into King of Combat now. Anyway, because we've got a battle royal to have, but all 3 titles will be on the line as well on this show. So it's going to be an absolute jam-packed, expensive show. We're not going to give anyone the night off. And, of course, we will be in front of a generic venue. Hopefully going to get nearly 900 fans in attendance, which would be absolutely fantastic. Broadcaster, yes, we will use the US syndication because that's just what we would, of course we'd do that. So yeah, it's going to be a very expensive night tonight, but we've got all the titles on the line as well. Loads of creative energy knocking around. We need to make sure we use these angle ideas and that creative. In fact, we're not going to be able to use that angle idea, I don't think. Because I don't think Shanghai Pierce is in an angle unless we stick one in tonight, but we probably won't, let's be fair. And we need to make sure we use Kane and get him a victory at some point in the next month and a half. But let's spend some creative energy. Let's get a character idea going. And hopefully that will leave us with enough. Yeah, that's no restrictions on that. And then we'll have a creative finish, which we'll safe bet, which we will use on the Battle Royal. So there we go. We've spent some of that. Dean Malenko and Raven argue a lot during the meeting. Wonderful. Wonderful. Locker room incident. Sean Royals wants to hang around backstage. How much will he cost us? 40 a show? Is he any good? Not too bad. Not much popular. He got some popularity. I mean, you can come and hang out. I've not got anything for you though. Dean Malenko trains 12 people. Talk backstage about how much Adam Impact's being influenced by Perry Saturn. Is that good? Possibly. Jeff Hardy's gotten a lot of heat for his selfish behaviour. Nothing noteworthy came from that. Thank you. Steve Armstrong. You're wondering why Steve Armstrong's here? He's from WCW. We brought him in on a very short-term deal. And apparently he's already getting heat backstage for being selfish. Worth it. Nothing noteworthy from that. Instant phase complete. Not going to address the locker room because we did that last month. Right, last year's King of Combat got a 59, with the Battle Royal itself getting a 63. The year before, the Battle Royal got a 57 and a 49 overall. And then the first year, the Battle Royal got a 39 and a 46 overall for the show, where Jerry Lynn defeated Jeff Jarrett for the heavyweight title. That is that. So we had Taz in the title match last year. Raven and Tommy Angel in the year before. Okay, so we've got plenty of things to work on, but with plenty of pre-booking to get through as well tonight. So we want the King of Combat here to have that creative finish that I mentioned, not the Angus King one, that one. Add that in. That's going to be a 33-minute total segment. Eddie Guerrero's extremely unhappy. Well, sorry, Eddie. You aren't going to be hanging around, so I ain't going to give you the win. Simple as that, really. Should we start the show with Raven's match? Potentially. Did I put that in the... Right, hang on, let's just drop the rest of the matches in first. And then, did I say the show... Yeah, I did say we start the show there. Okay, fine. And then we want this one potentially here. And then the Mysterio... defense of the TV title there. So we get that down here. What's the booking analysis problem? Eddie's unhappy. I forgot to put the King of Combat on the line for the actual match. Wonderful. There we go. Excellent. So Eddie's still very unhappy. I know. I'm sorry, Eddie. But you are already wanting to leave, so I can't just keep giving you victories. What do you want me to do? Literally, what do you want me to do? Right, we've got 89 minutes booked on this show. It's obviously a slightly longer one than the usual hour. I've already pre-booked it for an hour and a half, and that's 89 minutes is close enough. So let's do it. Let's give Rey Mysterio and Billy Gunn an extra couple of minutes here. Let's give them 13 minutes. There we go. Right, 90 minutes in total. Let's go for it. Let's go for King of Combat and see if we can combat some of the bad morale backstage. 857 in attendance as we kick the show off with Raven in the ring. He talks about all the mind games that he's been playing and how the winner of the King of Combat will get a title shot tonight, but it won't be a simple task to get the heavyweight title from Raven. He then gets interrupted by the arrival of Steve Armstrong from WCW. The former US Tag Champion demands that Raven puts the title on the line tonight against a real Southern boy. The crowd liked it, so let's go. Let's go for it. 52, not a bad way to start the show. That title match will come a little bit later on because we're going to start things off with Rey Mysterio defending against Kip Montana. They didn't have particularly good chemistry, made a slight awkward bout. Kip showing that he has been surpassed in this company. He's obviously been here since the start. But the Mysterio Rana gets the job done. Defense number 5 of the TV title. Rey gets a 51 in-ring performance. Kip down at 31's a little disappointing, but a 47 overall is okay. We can work with that. A good solid start to the show. And we move on to our tag title match as the Pitbulls defend against the people's favourite tag team, which is Man of the People, Tommy Dreamer, and the comment section's favourite wrestler, Joe Kazana. Unfortunately, a super bomb on Dreamer is enough for the Pitbulls to make their first defence of the tag team titles. Solid performance all round, apart from Pitbull 2 letting everyone down a little bit. Pitbull 1 pulling up the rest of the side there to average out about the same as what Kazana and Dreamer have done. Overall, a 50 rating for the match, which will do us nicely as we tick on towards our main event. And hopefully this will be a good base for the main event. In-ring performance-wise, Raven let us down a little bit. But Raven defeated Steve Armstrong after interference from lackey Angus King. Raven therefore makes his third defense of the title in a slightly dirty fashion, but a defense all the same. A 49 performance for him. Steve Armstrong with a 54. Hopefully we'll get some good matches out of Steve Armstrong because, you know, we're paying a lot of money. I kind of wanted him to face Eddie at some point as well, but if Eddie's leaving, that's not going to happen. 57, though, for the segment rating is very handy and will be a good base for that main event. Hopefully a very packed Battle Royal will get a slightly higher rating, but we shall see. It does, in fact. It gets a 64 4. Eddie was off his game because he's just annoyed. But the lineup of Angus King, Booker T, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, John Cronus, Perry Saturn, Rob Van Dam, Shanghai Pierce, Stevie Ray, Tex Slazenger. Now, I'm going to get slated in the comments that's saying that every one of those is a tag team wrestler. Yes, I know, but we've got tag teams on our roster, so most of the roster will be tag team wrestlers. I don't have a big enough roster where I can't use the tag teams in singles action. Just yet, sorry. But Malenko wins with the final elimination, which is easy enough for me to say, being Eddie Guerrero. He wins the King of Combat for the second time. The creative finish was a success. The rating itself was a 64, and we go into a slightly knocked down performance for the angle afterwards. But Dean Malenko lifts the trophy high for the second time. Eddie Guerrero is furious once again. He gets in Dean's face and the pair start throwing punches at each other. Trophy's knocked on the ground. The security have to rush in and pull the two men apart. It gets a 43. We rated it on fighting, I think. So popularity will play a big part into that. But Dean Malenko is the victor. Eddie is annoyed. We only get a 55 overall, which is a little bit disappointing. But that's because apparently we're getting pinged for production compared to our rivals. And I've just been on the production page and didn't notice that, which is a real shame. Who is our rival? Who's pinging us on production? No, I don't want to speak to the locker room. Yeah, sorry. No injuries. Finance-wise, we've made just a bit of profit on this show. Why is show cost so high? What's that for? What have I pressed that's made show cost so high? I mean, workers, we've spent a lot of money on workers by bringing in Armstrong. Guerrero's now on a lot. We're starting to pay our workers a lot. That's a lot. Not much made on the show. Popularity, though, has increased up quite a lot. 36 now in the Southeast, 23 in Tri-State, 18 in Mid-Atlantic and Mid-South. Post-show complete. Now, who is the rival that suddenly appeared with better production? Is that going to be ICWA again? I'm going to have to start running shows on the same day they are, aren't I, just to annoy them? Because they've got Dean Malenko and RVD. I think that's the only bit of crossover on our roster. But for some reason, they're doing really well. They won the regional battle in October. They just literally moved up in size and then won the regional battle. But we shall see. Joe Kazana thinks that Pitbull 2 is turning into a good worker. Is he? Okay. Clip Montana thinks Rey Mysterio's clumsy. Thanks, Skip. King of Combat gets viewed by 21,000, whilst the taped episode of Unleashed gets viewed by just under 20. So that's a good night for us, isn't it? Why, oh why, did it cost so much on this show? That seems to be a lot for show costs. Why is it so high? Why? Is it just... Is that because we're now bigger? Maybe that's why. Do we spend more because we're bigger? I can't make head or tail, so... Production costs, the miscellaneous costs per show, marketing cost, maybe. Is that it? I'm confused. I don't know. But our show costs have gone up. Worker costs have also possibly gone up a little bit than normal. We shall see when we do the TV taping how everything looks out. Production, who is the rival that is better than us? GW. Why are we now rivals with all of these people? It's because we moved up to small, isn't it? They're a lot bigger than us. Where's their size? Yeah, look at that. They've got 55s across. They're very nearly medium. And we're getting pings because they've got better production values than us. Of course they have. I mean, literally they've got the Lightning Kid as well there. Look at that. That's Scott Putsky. That's the Lightning Kid. He's annoyed with us still. He's not going to leave to join us because he's such an awful time they had to quit. Never mind. Right, that's a bit of an alley we don't want to go down. So GWF have got very good production values, and it's pinged us. And all of the other companies that are now bigger than us, that we've suddenly started being rivals with, have also got better live experience and has better broadcast quality than us. We're going to have to, at some point, increase our production to avoid those penalties. But right now, we are not. So there we go. Right, we've got a TV taping in 6 days. I'll just quickly go through that off screen and we'll get back for the TV taping. Yes. See you in a second. Okay, we are ready for Unleashed episode 37. And, well, I'm continuing to get annoyed with Eddie Guerrero being unhappy with everything. So before we get into the actual show, we have... Oh, we can't do that. Right. We can offer new contracts to Rey Mysterio. Well, we have offered a new contract to Rey Mysterio and to Chris Jericho, but Eddie Guerrero has handed his notice in. So thankfully, he's not just walked out, but he has handed his notice in. He's got 30 days remaining with the company. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of his popularity, because obviously the problem is we've made him so popular, he just can't lose to anyone. So we'll see if we can get some more popularity onto Malenko from Eddie after the TV taping tonight. Hopefully he's still here for Clash of the Titans as well, because we've got him booked for that show, which will be his last show in the company and the last show of the year, apart from the TV taping afterwards. Right, let's go into episode 37 of Unleashed. It's going to be quick fire as usual. Eliminators get the victory in the opening contest against Billy Kidman and Christopher Daniels. They got total elimination on Kidman, and he's done. He's out. Cronus and Saturn, good performances. Daniels and Billy Kidman, less so. 38 overall is good. Afterwards, this promo falls flat. They declare they want a shot at the tag titles. No excuses, just elimination. Both failed to do anything without a script. 29 is not great. Crowd's still okay, though. We then see the underdog fighting TV champion Rey Mysterio. He once again opens the door to all challengers. Worked the crowd well. Got a 66 overall for this segment. Nicely done, Mr. Mysterio. Goes into the match where he faces Ace Brown, and D'Lo puts in a pretty decent performance, but Rey's suffered a swollen calf muscle, which is not good when he's going to be on this taping for the next 3 shows as well. It makes defense number 6 of the TV title, and I might have to call an audible and bring forward a match that potentially was going to happen later. But I don't like changing things up. We'll just keep booking, unless he's really injured. We'll just keep booking it and see how we get on. Next up, he's just sustained a swollen calf muscle. He should be fine. Ace has got a bit of locker room heat for getting Rey hurt, which is good. Eddie's fuming, apparently. He challenges Dean. Why has he only got 37? That's not good. He challenges Dean Malenko to a best-of-3 series for the title shot that Dean earned at King of Combat. The series is going to start tonight. Match 2 will air in 2 weeks. And then the third match will be a Clash of the Titans if needed. And for some reason that only gets to 37. Why? I don't understand. We've booked him in an angle where he's talking. Did I forget to make him talk? I don't know. Either way, only a 37. Moving on to the main event, though. Eddie Guerrero gets absolutely outshone by Dean Malenko, a 66 for the match itself. But Dean gets the victory with a Texas Cloverleaf inside just under 16 and a half minutes. Well done, Dean. Match 1 and the best of 3 series. 66 is a good way to end the show. We only get 53 overall, though, because we get a lot of production pings, which is not great. Why so many? I don't know. That's going to really hamper us in the regional battles, isn't it? 53 is not great for a 66 main event as well. Don't understand it. I'm going to be very annoyed if all of our ratings are going to continue to get pinged because of that. Right, let's just have a look at Rey Mysterio. Where is he? He's annoyed. Yeah, I would be as well, mate. You've just been injured. Swollen calf muscle. I'm guessing you can still work. Absences. That's not. So you can be worked through for 30 days. Ugh. That's not going to be great. Right, let's book show number 2, episode 38 of the... we were going to have Rey in the main event with Candido as well. We're doing it. We're going to keep going. We have that one. I mean, maybe we'll drop the... Maybe Malenko's more of a promo guy than Guerrero is at this point, if that 37 is anything to go by. But we shall see. We'll see how we get on. And then the Eliminators will be in action again at the opener. And we'll see what happens on the booking here. Rey's injured. Yeah, Candido's being used a bit too much, but we shall see. Right, episode 38. This is going to pot quite quickly. The Eliminators get another victory, 41. This time, Billy Kidman goes down to a Death Valley driver, thanks to Saturn. Eddie Golden being his teammate tonight. Kidman's still rusty. Eliminators still putting in good, strong performances. 41, good. Eddie Guerrero then cuts a promo, apparently only getting a 40. He's normally in the 60s. What's this all about? Is he? Is he normally in the 60s, or have I made that up? I don't know. He admits that he's been off his game ever since Rey Mysterio stole the TV title from him, and he's let his standards slip in the King of Combat and last week. But next week, he evens the score and shows Malenko that he will stop at nothing to win. 40 for that one. Then Jericho defeats Kip Montana with a 41. Both putting in solid performances. Jericho not quite as good as I got in my head that Jericho's in-ring performances were slightly better than 40's. But we shall see. Lion Tamer gets the job done for him. We move on to where he has the utmost respect for his friend Rey Mysterio, but he wants the TV title for himself, and he'll show his skills and win a few more matches. But the open challenge will be answered by the Lionheart soon enough. Spoilers, that's going to be a TV title in the next couple of episodes of TV, not of the YouTube video. 41. Dean Malenko then does a 40 as well, and apparently can't do very well without a script. What is going... Why is everything being pinged so much this week? Dean Malenko tells us that after losing the TV title to Guerrero for a few months ago, he studied endless tape and proved that last week he now has the edge against him and will be the one cashing in that title opportunity after he finishes out this best of 3 series. 40 though. Oh, because we're now small, are we getting... Why are the angles so bad? I don't get it. Main event match only gets a 44 because of Mysterio's injury. The Mysterio Rana does enough to beat Chris Candido, but 48 for Rey, 29 for Candido. Everything feels a lot harder all of a sudden. Is this what happens when you move up to small size? Does everything just sort of get scaled down? 44. That's not very good. Only a 38 overall. And that's again being pinged by all of these production penalties. Maybe we shouldn't have moved up in size. Have I made a big mistake by moving up in size? Because I'm not down for that at all. Let's go through to the next show. Kip Montana and Christopher Daniels have been talking a lot recently. Yeah, wonderful. Next, move on. This, I'm not convinced this is going to go very well. I'm really not now. I think we've made a big mistake. Right, let's go through and book the show anyway. Right, pre-booking. We want the main event to go on last, obviously. Dean and Eddie in their second of their best of 3 series. How do we want to do it? So we got that one here. Rey Mysterio gets his victory as well, which is apparently going to be hindered by his injury. Chris Jericho up as well in the... So we've got a lot of talent on this card. If this card doesn't get a good rating, I'm not sure what's going to, because we've got Rey, Eddie, Dean, Jericho. I mean, D'Lo Brown as well. Like, everyone is good on this card. Eddie Golden's the worst one. And we'll start off with Jericho beating Ace Brown in the opener, 33. I definitely feel like we've been pinged for moving up to small. Really do. Jericho gets the victory, 37 for his in-ring performance. That's normally a lot higher. Why has the game suddenly got harder? I don't understand. Ace Brown's only got an 18. I don't get it. We are still in the southeast as well, right? Not like we've gone anywhere else. Jericho then lays down the challenge. This is... What is this? 34? After Rey... A friendly... I'm losing it. A friendly battle where the best man will win and leave with the TV title. Jericho loved going off script, but only got 34. That would have got a 50-something last week. Then Eddie defends against... Rey defends against Eddie Golden. 50 for his in-ring performance is acceptable because he's injured, but only a 42 overall. Crowd rating is now pulling a bigger weighting. Is that the problem? It's the 8th defense of the TV title. But everything's getting pinged. He then accepts the challenge from Jericho. The two friends will do battle next week. 48. And then the main event only gets 65. I mean, that's not bad. Eddie dropped a 45 and he's just apparently out of all sorts because he's unhappy. But he gets the victory tonight with a frog splash. But Dean Malenko got 76. Match rating itself was a 65. And then afterwards, a 35 for the angle. Everything's working great. Eddie grabs a microphone. The bell sounds. He mocks Dean Malenko for thinking he had his number. It's all square, though, and Eddie has all the momentum, and the title shot will be his after Clash of the Titans. And we get an overall of 51. Yeah, so, no, 51, not good enough. Next. Any locker room incidents? Yeah, so Perry Saturn's been hanging around with Ace Brown recently. That's been good, I guess. I don't know. I'm completely thrown. No, we don't want to address the locker room. Go away. Let's see if we can get this final TV taping done with something decent out of it. I don't think we can because we've not so far. let's see how we go with this one. Now, you will probably think that this is because it was not because of his injury, because we've just gone straight through. But, yeah, we're going to change the TV champion at the end of this taping. That's how that's happening. So, partly because Eddie's leaving, so we need someone else freed up to move up the card. Partly because we just like to keep the TV championship moving around. But Chris Jericho is going to become the new TV champion at the end of this one. That's a bit of a spoiler for you. Right, we'll go through 295 held in attendance for the TV taping, which is down from last month. We start with Kit Montana getting the victory over Christopher Daniels, gets a 31 overall for the match. Fall Away Slam got the job done in 10 minutes. And then afterwards, he says he's been in the company since the debut show, but he's now frustrated with how things have developed for him. Maybe it's time for him to change things up. It only gets 35. Despite enjoying the freedom of going off script, why has everything gone hard? We're small, not medium, and everything has got really, really difficult all of a sudden. Dean Malenko may have got a little overconfident, but he's back down to earth and will face the tough challenge of Chris Candido tonight in a warm-up ahead of Clash of the Titans. Now, I've said here, please note that that match may have already happened when this airs. I'm not sure if it will have done or not. But potentially. Potentially it does. 41 for that one. Nothing's going well, is it? Malenko still gets a good match, though, out of Chris Candido. Gets a 63. Victory with a Texas Cloverleaf. A 75 in-ring performance for Dean. It's good enough. But we shall see whether we can get anything out of the show. That should really have been the main event, shouldn't it? Because Jericho and Mysterio, with Jericho's injury and with Mysterio's injury, is not up to scratch. 47 for the match, not bad, but could have been better. Mysterio was pulling in a better rating. Jericho I was expecting to be a bit better as well. But he gets the victory and is the new TV champion. So we're ending on a new champion. Jericho's handed the TV title. He offers his hand to Mysterio. The pair shake and Ray holds his arm in the air. Friendly battle for the title was just that. And we have a new champion. It gets a 44 and for some reason it only gets a 40 overall. And the popularity's only increased in 7 regions. And we're getting big penalties for production as well. This is not what I was hoping for. Ray's out for 30 days, but we thankfully taken the title off him so we can just let him have the night off for the next couple of nights. That's fine. We'll move through that. We've signed him a new contract anyway. Finance-wise, lost loads of money. Small was a mistake. That's what I'm saying. Everything's gone up everywhere apart from the southeast, though, so that's okay. But yeah, going up to small, mistake. Everything costs more money. Eddie Guerrero wants to leave. All our ratings are getting tanked for various reasons that I'm not sure on. And then we're getting a load of production penalties because we're being compared against companies twice our size. Yeah, I wish we hadn't gone up to small. I really do. Eddie Golden's now gone, by the way. Guerrero thinks that Jericho's a star in the making. Rey Mysterio is injured. Ace Brown botched a move. Viewing figures are in. 31,000. That's a lot. That's a lot more than it has been. Okay. No, that's the wrong button. We're going to delete all the mail. Right. Well. I'm not sure what's going on because everything. I mean, that show there was a 55. Is that going to be enough to get us anywhere in the regional battle? Where would 55 have got us last month? Yeah, we probably would have finished third again. So we'll see if that works in November. Right. Not sure what's happening, but we'll go forward to Clash of the Titans, which is in 20 days, which I think is the 1st of December. Yeah, because we moved it forward because Eddie is annoyed. Why is Kit Montana so angry? Why is he so angry? He's not... Seriously, what's that all about? Whatever, right. I'll be back in a second for the next show, Clash of the Titans. Okay, we are about ready for Clash of the Titans, otherwise known as Eddie Guerrero's last stand. Spoilers, he probably won't be winning the title shot because, well, he's leaving in about 3 days. Before we get into that, I did read through a bit of the guide earlier, and the increase in cost for shows, that's deliberate with increasing to small size. I wish I'd known, and maybe I wouldn't have done. Because basically you get extra costs for just running the show, and extra costs for running a longer show than you do at other sizes, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And I don't think that's fair, but there you go. My show costs have doubled in the last month, which has completely wiped away most of the profit that we normally see. Worker costs going up is fair because we've spent more money on workers this month, but the show costs doubling for no change whatsoever is a little bit harsh, but there we go. Sponsorship cost is also going up, which is excellent. Ticket sales is still high, which is good as well. Quite why ratings got absolutely pounded in the backside over the last TV taping, I'm not sure. So shows like 38 and 40 are just not really on. Particularly that one, a 40 rating when we had a 63 and a 47 match. That just doesn't feel right. It really doesn't, but never mind. The 55 we got with King of Combat was enough to put us fourth in the regional battle, which is fantastic. A 56 would have gotten us second, potentially, but apparently not the 55. So there we go with that one. And also to know, obviously, Eddie Guerrero is leaving. There's also a bit of morale issue with Kit Montana, for example. So he currently costs us 50 per show. He's got reasonable overness, popularity. Not anything to shout home about, but he now wants 800 a show. So he wanted a $700 or $650 increase. And I said no, so now he's just not happy and will probably leave soon. Similarly, terrorizing Triple H, again, popularity, nothing to write home about. He's still unimportant in terms of his consideration by fans. I mean, even Kit Montana's is better than that, he's well known. But terrorizing is unimportant, and he costs us 50 a show. Now, he now wants 900, or I think he wanted 800 from us. So I said no, so he's now unhappy. Similar increases, Pitbull 1 and Pitbull 2 wanted increases, which they got because they're actually worth them and it's not ridiculous. But a lot of people, I mean, Ray's now on 220. We've just extended his deal. Chris Jericho's also extended his deal. He only wanted 70 though, so all good there. As mentioned, Eddie's leaving on Tuesday. Today is Friday. We've had to move this show from Sunday so he could be on it. So there we go. That's all fun and games. Moving up in size is not worth the hassle. Stay down at tiny or whatever it's called. Okay, well, we still made profit in November anyway, so that's fine. Our merchandise is going to be upgraded in 2 weeks, so we'll come back after the TV taping at the end of December and do the end of year review. Well, it'll be the 1st of January, and we'll go through all of the awards and everything like that. That'll be done by that point, so we'll be able to see how that works out. It won't be done in time for the TV taping, though, so never mind there. We'll go into Clash of the Titans now, though, and I think what I will need to do is make sure that we send home a few people who are not being booked tonight, so we'll give them the night off. I think that's the technical term of things. So we'll go by perception of major star again, and just give them the night off if they're not booked. So you aren't booked, you aren't booked, you aren't booked. I think the other 4 are. I mean, if you try and get rid of someone who is booked, it will give you a pop-up, so that kind of gives you a hint as to whether they're not booked or not. That will be fine. We'll move forward. Yes, that's okay. Right, we will still be in the southeast. Attendance is now expected to be over 1,000. There will be a penalty for being 4th in the regional battle, though, so we'll see how that fares. But it should be our highest attendance yet. Broadcast-wise, we'll still air it on syndication. Of course we will. That would be silly not to. And booking team meeting. Hopefully, Raven and Dean Malenko don't argue throughout this one, and also they're probably going to be in a program for the heavyweight title soon as well, so could do with them not being at each other's throats. Creative ideas, we still have a character idea we need to use. I was going to use it on Eddie Guerrero, but obviously he's leaving now, so I need to make sure I use that on someone else. I need to book Kane on the next TV tapings and give him a creative victory. It's a big gamble though, so maybe. We've got 151 creative points, so we'll use a finish here. Dean Malenko victory. Yeah, we got one of those coming tonight, that's for sure. And we'll do another character idea as well. That's a safe bet. We'll use those 2 character ideas tonight before the show. So we'll do that. We'll go through the locker room incidents first, though. Dean Malenko training 11 people backstage. John Cronus and Kit Montana, even though he's got 1 foot out the door, have bonded recently. Billy Kidman's being influenced by Pitbull 1. That's probably a good thing for him. And no other ends. All positive incidents backstage. Excellent stuff. Last year, RVD and Jerry Lynn fought in the main event. There wasn't a title match. I think Jarrett was the champion going into the new year. Jarrett and Lynn fought in a street fight the year before, and Dean Malenko beat Raven for the heavyweight title. So Dean's always loved this show. It's always been a good show, the end of the year show. I think it was the season finale on year 1, but I'm not sure. So Jerry Lynn beat Rocky King. That was his King of Combat title match, I think. But either way, we didn't have it in the main event. Lots of stuff happens on this show. That's all I want to say there. Right, we'll use this character idea. We'll use what should we? Who's over but needs a bit of boost to their momentum. That's what I want to know. Let's major star, max momentum, warm. Let's see if that's anyone. No, that's not anyone. Right, let's work our way down. How about stars? No, you're leaving. We're not going to be using you anytime soon. Well known? Anyone? Kit Montana? You're going to be leaving soon. Recognizable? Anyone here? Not you, not you, not you. No, this is not working out very well. Has everyone just got good momentum? Is that the problem? Oh, there we go. Who should we push? Who should we push out of these guys to get them towards the top? Maybe we'll just give Chris Candido a push. He's annoyed. Is that because he keeps losing? Been left off cards. It was left off the... so it's just collision course has been left off twice. That's fine. Right, we'll give him a character idea. Hopefully, should we go with a safe... We'll go with a bit of a gamble. See if that works. Failure. That's... Okay, he's annoyed now. He's annoyed. Should we try again? Let's try someone else, maybe. Let's try him again. Let's give him both. Creative idea. Yeah, that's going to be a success, sure. Yeah, we go. He's still annoyed, but he's got very cold momentum. That is incredibly waste of money. Waste of creative energy, that is. That's for sure. Right, let's go in. Do we go with Dean and Eddie as the main event, or do we have faith in Raven? Probably not. Let's go with Dean and Eddie in the main event. Yeah, we'll go with Dean and Eddie in the main event. And obviously, we'll use the creative finish as well, because we've just got one that needs to be used for Dean Malenko. There we go. He's going to win. Obviously, Eddie's leaving a 30-minute match near enough. Eddie's extremely unhappy because, of course, he is. Yeah, it's the 4th time it's been held quite recently, but it's going to be better than the rest of them, so that's fine. We will have the Raven angle there, and then the Raven match just before it. Steve Armstrong was unhappy with the booking, but Raven cracked his knuckles and glared at him, and everything was fine. There we go. Then we will have the tag title match, and then RVD is going to beat Terrorizing because he needs to stop complaining about being in the show. Right, 85 minutes. How do we cut some time out of this show? Right, you need a couple of minutes less. Yeah, you probably need a couple of minutes less. How many are we now down to? 5 more need to go. Okay, we'll just have to shave a bit off the main event, probably. That's probably how we're going to have to do it, isn't it? Yeah, great, Eddie. You're annoyed. Wonderful. That should be enough. Right, booking analysis. Eddie's unhappy. We've got our storytelling match on, though, so that's fine. Right, let's see. If I boosted it up to an hour and a half, it'd cost us more. So if we're using the overrun a little bit, that should be okay. Method to the madness. Right, let's go. Clash of the Titans, 1995. Here we are, in front of exactly 1,000 people. Wonderful. RVD starts the show. He's had his setbacks recently, but he's back on the road to the top. He's going to prove tonight why the fans call him the whole damn show. And he wants to win his way back to the heavyweight title. Despite struggling when going off script, he got a 51 rating for the angle, which is good. So that's okay. Not everything has gone to pot with moving up to small size. Yet, at least. Right, the match itself gets a 50 because RVD carried Terrorizing to a good match. This is why RVD is one of our best stars, and this is why Triple H is getting a boot. If I could boot him, I would. Well, we're just going to keep jobbing him out until he quits, basically. But Terrorizing loses in 8.5 minutes. 50 rating for this one. Well done, Rob Van Dam. You are on the road back to the top. But the top is quite busy at the moment. The Eliminators, though, they get their tag team titles back after defeating the Pitbulls. Perry Saturn wins with a Rings of Saturn on Pitbull number 2. The Eliminators have got the better joint performances, although the average is probably about the same because Pitbull won brings up Pitbull 2's weak performances. But a 52 overall is a really good, strong match, and hopefully if all of our matches are in the 50s and above, we'll get a good show rating and not something terrible like we had in November. But good stuff so far. New tag team champions once again. I still have no real direction for the tag titles. And then we get Raven and Steve Armstrong for the heavyweight title, and Raven gets the victory in 15.5 minutes with the even flow DDT. It's the 4th defense of the heavyweight title, and Raven picks up a good, strong victory, a 64 rating over the more popular but not as regular Steve Armstrong. I think what I might do is I might put Armstrong on the next batch of TV tapings and just get some popularity off of him before his contract ends. He's not a long-term prospect. He's just here for 3 months. Let's make use of the fact he's got a bit of popularity. But Raven hopefully will now have a lot of popularity from that victory. Popularity. 64 for this segment rating. And then he does a fantastic job and gets an 81 in an angle. So all my complaints about ratings getting nerfed have gone. With that issue with Steve Armstrong settled, Raven welcomes the challenge of either Dean Malenko or Eddie Guerrero for his heavyweight title. It won't be an easy win, however, for whoever cashes in that King of Combat match, as Raven will make them run through the gauntlet like he does with everybody else. There will be no special treatment, and you would expect nothing less. So, on the next batch of TV tapings, Dean Malenko, who is about to win the match, will go through Edge, Christian and Kane on his way towards Raven. Excellent. 81 there with booking TV. Oh, 55? Fantastic. It should have been better. It's the 4th time it's been done recently and it needed to be better. Great. What a terrible way to end the show. Malenko beats Guerrero in 23 minutes. Guerrero's basically phoned his performances in. The creative finish was a success, but it wasn't enough to get the rating up higher than it needed to be, so it got pinged. Wonderful. Great. Hi. Just as you thought. Just as we thought we were going to get a good rating, we should have put Raven on last. I had faith in Dean and Eddie. Shouldn't have done. 51 overall. Not great. We ain't going to win the regional battle like that. Should have increased our popularity in 11 regions, though, so there's always that to hang our hat on. No injuries to note. Performance financially, we made a load of money. 11 grand on ticket sales is great. That's $11 each for all 1,000 people. Merchandise up. Worker costs were back under control a little bit more. Show costs down as well because it's only an hour show technically, so we made a good profit. Wonderful. Popularity-wise, up to 37 in the Southeast, 25 in Tri-State, 20 and 19 for Mid-South, Mid-Atlantic. All good, you know. We started out the month of November at 35 in the Southeast, so we'll see what we get to after 2 months and see whether that gauge of 1 a month is still accurate. But there we go. That is Clash of the Titans, which is the final monthly event of the year. We do have 1 TV taping left to get through, and obviously I'm going to use Steve Armstrong to try and get some popularity off him. Malenko's going through the Nest Gauntlet. So that'll be booked over a few of those 4 shows as well. So we've got plenty of TV sort of set and booked ahead of time. Regional Battle, this is some of the news I should have gone through a second ago. Regional Battle, we finished 4th out of 5. We covered that. Clash of the Titans got only 21,000 views. But the TV taping got 27, 31. It makes no sense whatsoever. Also to note, Jerry Lynn injured WCW and Jeff Jarrett injured during a house show in the WWF. So there we go. Why was the viewers so low compared to... That makes no sense. Anyway, right. We'll go through for the next week and get to the next TV taping, and then we'll do the end of year review for 1995. Okay, then the challenge for this TV taping is to get a show that rates higher than 57 or something like that to try and get somewhere in the monthly regional battle. So we're going quite heavy with stars. We've got Jericho, RVD, Malenko and Steve Armstrong booked quite frequently on this block of TV tapings. We'll go through episode 41 first, though, and we start with Dean Malenko. Who says it's forcing Dean Malenko to wrestle is counterintuitive because he loves wrestling, and this gauntlet from Raven will be a nice warm-up. He gets a 57, and he struggled when going off script, so that's still a really good performance. 57 to start the show, and then he beats Christian Cage in 13.5 minutes with a 58, and I forgot these pair have got great chemistry. Or did I already know that? I think I already knew that, but that's good. Dean Malenko with a 70 in-ring performance, Christian with a 25. He will get better. Dean Malenko is a good person to work with, though, and a 58 is a solid start to the show, and hopefully we'll continue with that. RVD promises more wins over the next few weeks. He'll be undeniable in 1996, and he was terrible without a script, but still got a 50. Never mind that. Right, he then faced Kip Montana and did pretty well for himself, actually. A 57 for the match rating, 65 for RVD, 29 for Kip. And he's definitely on his way out with his low morale. I think it was Kip who said he was leaving at the end of his contract. Or he's handed in his notice, rather. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check that. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. 57, though, is a good continuation of these decent ratings. And hopefully we will get a good main event. But Jericho follows tradition and opens his door to any challenger. And that challenger tonight is Steve Armstrong. And a 51 is the weakest match of the night. But it's a good victory for Jericho. He only gets a 43, but Armstrong 56 is enough to get a 51 rating. Not quite the level of the two earlier matches, so it will be penalised a little bit in the main overall show rating. But it was a good start. Gets a 46, though, because are the ratings being pinged that much from the production? That's that 4 points or something like that for the production. It's a lot either way, which is going to really hamper us. But we've got 3 more cards to get through, so we can do this. Dave Hebner and Edge having an argument mid-show, but then Edge spending a lot of time with Kane. So there we go, talking about their love of Lita. Right, we'll go through to show number 2 now, and in the main event of this one, I'm not sure. I think we're going to go with RVD in the main event this time against Steve Armstrong. That should, in theory, be a much better match. Yeah, Steve Armstrong's unhappy. Great. Don't care. Really don't care. Another defense for Jericho as well over Kip Montana. I will just double check that it was Kip Montana who said he was leaving. If we can do that. Can I get back to my mail through here? Yes, I can. Viewing figures are in. The show that's just finished being recorded got 35,000 people watching. Yeah, it was Kip Montana who's handed in his notice. He'll be gone soon. Right, show number 2. Yep, Steve Armstrong's unhappy, but he's going, so who cares? Let's go. This one should be better. Malenko starts the show with a victory over Adam Impact. Gets a 58. 67 for Malenko, 28 for Edge. Slightly higher than Christian. All good things, though. Malenko's was slightly higher in the Christian match, though. 58 is a good start, and then he tells Raven, he asks Raven how it feels. 2 men down, only 1 man standing between him and Raven for the title. That will happen at Glory Road. 50 is a good rating. Then we get Jericho against Billy Gunn. Not quite as good. Jericho's up to 51, though, with the in-ring performance, which is good. Victory is his second defense of the TV title. We're expecting that one to be a little bit lower than a Malenko match, but should hopefully still bode as well for the main event. Lionheart Chris Jericho is loving life as TV champion. He gets to wrestle in front of the fans every week and show how good he is in the ring. 50, good, improvise well. Next, that's much better, much better. RVD beats Steve Armstrong in the main event, gets a 61. Armstrong drops a 52. Van Dam a 68, only a 61 overall, though. Could be a little bit better, but still really good. Maybe if we put Malenko against Armstrong, that would have been a better match. But still, and then 42, RVD thanks Steve Armstrong for pushing him in different ways tonight. RVD's going from strength to strength. 42 to close the show. Gets a 51 overall. We are definitely eating a lot of penalties for the production. But never mind. We will get through it. Locker room incidents again between shows. Candido and Scott Hudson having an argument. Wonderful. Everyone falling out. Okay. Let's go into show number 3. And we're going to have this as our main event. Steve Armstrong. Again, extremely unhappy. So why, when he faces Jericho, does Jericho crack his knuckles and he's fine with it? But Kane, whatever, I'm angry. Kane's bigger and tougher. So, okay. We'll have faith in Candido and Jericho going in the co-main spot. And then we'll have Malenko and RVD against the Suicide Blondes as the opener. And that is the wrong way round for those angles. There we go. Right. Yep. Everything fine there. Moving on. Dean Malenko and RVD start the show. Dean needs a partner to face the Suicide Blondes. They both really, really struggled without a blooming script. Despite beating them both in singles matches, he can't go it alone tonight. So he brings out RVD as his backup. Raven's plan isn't working, and they both fumbled through their words, and we get a 43 to start the show. The match itself is much better. A 58. Edge and Christian got great chemistry together. That's helped their collective performances. And RVD and Malenko both really, really strong. A 73 for Malenko, a 60 for RVD. Overall, it gets a 58 for the 10-minute opener. That's a high bar for the rest of the show to meet. Chris Candido then talks about how he's from the School of Hard Knocks and he's taken several knocks since joining SPW, but he steps up again tonight in the Open Challenge and looks to leave as TV champion. Enjoyed going off script, but only got a 27. Still strong performance from him. And then in the match, gets a 49 overall. Candido with a 32, Jericho with a 53, but Jericho makes his third defense of the TV title with a line tamer. Solid effort from both men. Good middle of the card match. And then, before we get into the main event, Angus King's already looking past the main event. He tells Dean Malenko that he better watch his back. Struggled going off script, which is what I do quite a lot, and got a 47 angle rating there. And the main event itself gets a 56. The creative finish was a success. And Kane and Steve Armstrong have got great chemistry. And he defeats him in 16 minutes with a chokeslam, despite being very angry at having to lose. It was a good match, 56. Overall, probably going to get 49. 46. I don't understand. So the production penalties must be, I say it again, production penalties must be massive. A 56 main event only gets a 46 overall rating, and that is silly. Right, let's have a look at the locker room incidents going into show 4. None of them excellent. And let's go through and book show 4. And then we'll go through to the end of the year. And do the end of year recap. I believe that is the final angle. Yeah, Dean Malenko and Kane in the main event. We will have Candido and Armstrong. Should be a good match. Steve Armstrong's unhappy again. Yeah, he's leaving soon. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever. Right, that is the card booked. And apart from Armstrong being unhappy and Candido being used too much, we're pushing Candido, by the way, if you hadn't noticed, that is the final TV taping of the night. Hopefully, Kane and Malenko will have a good match. We start out with a subpar match, though, as Jericho beats Edge in 10 minutes with the line tamer. It's the fourth defense of the title. They don't click at all, which is fantastic. Both men with a pretty poor performance. We get 38 overall way to start the show. Great. Great, good way to start. Jericho then pulls it back with a promo after a grueling stretch. He's proved with 4 defenses that he doesn't just have the heart of a lion, he has the heart of a champion. Thank you, Chris. Champion heart, Chris Jericho, 47. Chris Candido then falls off a little bit with a 26. He fell in the title match last week, but he's ready to prove he belongs tonight with victory over Steve Armstrong. And that's what he does, because we're trying to get Steve Armstrong's morale. His morale's bad, his popularity off of him. But he showed true unprofessionalism as he foamed in his performance because we've pissed him off too much by jobbing him out. But thank you anyway for your time, Steve. We'll bring in your brother next time and see if we can do the same to him. Candido gets the 35. I mean, if there's any popularity left on Steve Armstrong, it should have hopefully gone over to Candido now, but there we go. Dean Malenko then beat Angus King in the main event, got a 66. I'm sure that'll get pinged in some way. But Dean get a great performance again, 76. Kane with a 46. Good main event to close out the taping. Malenko's run through the gauntlet. He tells Raven that his time as heavyweight champion is almost over. He does well, improvised to his advantage. 54. Gets a show rating of a 51. So popularity going up in 7 regions, not all of them for some reason. Finances, lost a load of money, as you'd expect. Popularity up to 38. That's good. So that's 3 up. That will take us to 18 months to get to medium size. Everything else goes up nicely as well, so we're all job done there on that front. Right, what I'll do now is we'll go through to the end of December, have a look at the finances, and then wrap the episode up and the year up as we go through. Now, obviously, if you want to pick up the save from, well, not this point, but from the point of January 1st, 1996, get yourself over to Patreon, become a member over there. I believe you need to be on the middle tier, which is the main event tier, to get access to the save games. If you want to support the channel as well, you could just go onto the lower tier and be part of the club if you really want to. But get yourself into the main event tier, and you can have access to the save games as well. Right, thank you for that. Right, we'll go forward to the end of the month, do the end of year awards, do the finances, and everything like that. Alright then, Happy New Year! As we get to the closing part of this video, we'll just go through the end of year awards. awards rather. And do the finances and look ahead to 1996. So we'll do the company, the game-wide awards. So Keiji Muto's won Wrestler of the Year, Akira Hokuto, Female Wrestler of the Year, NJPW Company, La Milicia, Blue Panther and Negro Casas won Tag Team of the Year. La Chochoros Orientals have won the female. I don't know any of these. Match of the Years in New Japan, Muto against Jushin Thunder Liger. Show of the Year, G-Wing Climax Special Night 2 4. that's a mouthful. Is that Night 24 or Night 2 for the 4th year? Not sure. Male Young Wrestler of the Year, Oro, Miki Handa. Male Veteran, Tenru basically winning that one. Female, La Briosa, Most Improved. That's us! We won Most Improved! Yeah! Fine year of growth and continue to look to do so over the coming year. Wow, I wasn't expecting to win an award. Male independent wrestler is Headhunter B. Female is Akira Hokuto again. Male manager, Downtown Bruno. Female manager, Monica Kaiser. Play-by-play, JR. Female play-by-play is Mike McGurk. Male colour commentator, Jerry Lawler. Female colour commentator, Jackie Sato. Referee, Bob Yazawa. Female referee, Shigeo Kawasaki. And that's the end of the All Game World round. Awards. Southeast Regional Battle, we have finished last. Oh, that's not good. That's going to have a hit on attendance throughout the next month. Never mind. What are the notes have we got here? Loads of booking positions available. Yeah, Eddie Guerrero's off to now. He's never going to come back to us, is he? I mean, yeah. We'll see if he ever comes back. And the year awards we've done. Unleashed is getting some good TV views. Yep, 33,000 for the 4th lot of tapings. Steve Armstrong's contract's ending in a few days as well. Has he got a few days left? He's got 18 days left, so he should be able to use him on. I mean, he's not going to want to. Yeah, he's not happy. We could continue to drain some popularity off of him on the next TV taping and really, really annoy him. Potentially do that. Right, that's the news and the mail. Let's have a quick look at our finances. We made $8.5 grand. That's excellent. What have we made extra money on this time? Ticket sales are up, sponsorships up, merchandise has gone up as well, so that's helpful. Show costs a little bit lower than last month because we had just hour-long shows rather than hour-and-a-half-long shows. Worker costs down a little bit, but not much. Generally speaking, everything else is where it is, so it's just the increase in ticket sales and increase in sponsorship that's really helped there. That's kind of added $5 grand along with merchandise, so that's good. Our merchandise is now up as well to growing business level 4, so we're going to make more money by it. If we upgrade again, our running costs go up a little bit more and we get more money. 10 popularity point rather than 5. We'll see how we go on with the merchandise for a little while yet. Looking at production as well, if we go to upgrade things, how much extra they cost? That's 2,000 per night of shows. That's a lot. Oh, that's the wrong button. No, we don't want to do that just yet. What about production values? That goes up to 7.5 per month from 1.5, plus an extra grand a night of shows. No. Broadcast quality, so that goes from 500 per night to an extra 2 grand a night. We can't do this yet. And music, 10 grand a month. Whew. Yeah, we're not doing any of that just yet. Generally, we're pretty okay against most, but AWF is definitely not one of them. GWF is definitely not one of them. I'm not getting into a battle against all of those, that's for sure. But we are where we are needing to be with syndication. A quick look at our size as well. 38 now in the Southeast, 25 Tri-State, 20 in Mid-South and Mid-Atlantic. We're growing nicely. Everywhere else is slowly ticking up as well. That's had the spillover effect into Canada and Mexico. We've got a couple of 6s in Mexico now, and the UK, and Japan, and Europe, and Oceania. Just India now, where we are not getting any popularity whatsoever. But let's go through our end-of-year rewards. So, I said rewards again. Awards. Male Wrestler of the Year for the 3rd year out of 4 is Dean Malenko. And of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Tag Team of the Year are the Pitbulls this time around. That's surprising a little bit. Young Wrestler of the Year is Rey Mysterio Jr. Match of the Year goes to RVD and Jeff Jarrett from all the way back in January. We really peaked at the beginning of the year there. So Jarrett has been involved in all 4 of our matches of the year so far, which is a shame he's gone. Card of the year was Glory Road as well, right at the beginning of the year, 69. We never peaked. We peaked really high at the beginning of the year, never got there again. Male manager, none of them. Colour commentator, play-by-play commentator Scott Hudson. Referee Dave Hebner. And there we go. So I did also think that was, yeah, a good place to go. So we've got 4 days until our TV taping and 6 days until Glory Road. They'll be in our next episode. What I did want to do is, so Dave Hebner's been used a lot as a road agent. We might want to get someone who can be a second road agent and also be a colour commentator, or maybe a referee as well. So what I'm going to do is, in this search here, we want an out of ring. Is it ringside worker role? Is that what we do? Can work in the US to hire, and just see. We want. What do we want? We want psychology at 60, and then colour also at 60. We'll try that. Adrian Street, Affa, Bill Watts. These cost money as well. Bob Armstrong, Bruce Pritchard, Bruno, Don Callis. Oh, yeah, Don Callis, he can do everything, can't he? Dutch Mantel, Ernie Ladd. Everyone's costing a lot of money here. Frenchie Martin, only 230. He can do colour as well as be a road agent. Ivan Koloff, 700. Jesse Ventura, 900. Jim Connor, 800. Magnum, 600. Michael Hayes is a lot. Bockwinkel, 600. Ole Anderson, Humperdinck, Sergeant Slaughter, Steve Rickard, Tiger Jeet Singh. A lot of people costing a lot of money here. What about... who can we potentially... No, we need someone who can be a road agent and potentially a colour commentator. Bill Watts, apparently, can do all of these things. He's got great psychology and respect. He can do commentary as well. 72. Maybe. Although it's 500 per show, maybe we bring in Bill Watts as a potential backstage hand. Jesse Ventura's 900. Jim Cornette's 800. They'd be good, but too much money. Frenchie Martin is a nice cheap. Potentially his colour's a little bit lower. What about Don Callis? What's he? 500 a show. See, I really like Don Callis. Psychology at 67. His respect's a little bit low at 38, but he can do colour. He can be a manager. He can actually go in the ring as well. So I'm tempted to think about potentially bringing in Dolan Callis, but I think he'd want to actually work as well. Bruno's 600. What about Bruce Pritchard? What about him? 67 on his colour commentary. He could be a good manager. Can we compare him against Bill Watts? Let's have a look here. So psychology is in favour of Watts. Performance skills are in favour of Pritchard. And colour is close, but it's potentially Watts. But he can also be... Yeah, so he's booking... In fact, he can go on the booking team as well. Let's get Bill Watts in. Bill Watts, welcome aboard. We're going to negotiate with you. Never involve ring work. 500 per show. Ongoing. Yeah, let's go for it. So we'll look to bring him in. He will join the commentary crew. He'll be a road agent. And if we've got room on the booking team, which I think we still have. No, we haven't. We could... What about altering the booking team? Can we add people to the team? We can still add someone to the team, so that's fine. We can do that. We can add Bill Watts to the team. We'll do that. Excellent. Me and Kazana have still got poor booking chemistry, but whatever. Right, that's the end of the episode, I think. If you want to play from this point right here, the 1st of January, and go through those news items that I've just gone through as well, but you won't have negotiations set with Bill Watts, because I've already saved the file down, just go over to the Patreon, join on the Patreon, become a member over there. I think you need to be on the middle tier, the main event tier, or the top tier, which is the Tribal Chief, I think is what I called it. If you're on one of those tiers, you should have access to the save games. You'll also get a video shout out at the beginning of the video, like you saw earlier on, and your name will appear at the end of like it currently is now. It's on screen right now if you're a member of Patreon. Thank you anyway for all of those who have supported the channel that way. Thank you for everyone else who is watching the video and supporting in any way you can. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I've probably said that a few times already in this episode. And check out more content here. The playlist on screen is a good place to start. So thanks for watching.